Solve this differential equation. It gives us this right here. Okay, now how are we supposed to do this? Well, you have to recognize this is a logistic. How do you know? Well, here's the notes. And basically, this is the class notes. There's two versions of the logistic equation. Both have the same solution. Basically, if you see the rate of change, P prime equal to anything times P times something minus P, that's logistic. And that's what we have here. See, it's rate of change dy dt is something times y times something minus y. That's logistic. And you go, oh, okay, so I don't have to solve the whole thing because the solution's right here. I just have to first make it look like this one. So we have to give it a new look. I call it plastic surgery. Let me write it down. dp dt. So we got to make it look like dp dt. I already forget what is it. Equal rp. So rp 1 minus P over K. That's the look we need to give it. So that means you need to take this equation and make it look like that. Then you can just grab the solution that they gave. How do you do that? Well, you're going to have to see how there's a 1 here. You're going to have to make that a 1. How you can do that? Divide this by 100 and divide that by 100. That'll make it a 1. But then you also multiply by 100 so you're not changing anything. Let me stop there a second and make sure that made sense. We're changing the way it looks without changing the value. Again, that's why I call it plastic surgery, like you're removing the wrinkles, but it's the same person. It's going to look different, same person. If I take a number like 3 and I multiply it by 100 and divide it by 100, what's that? Well, 300 over 100, it's still 3. It just looks different, right? So that's what I'm doing. I'm taking this whole equation, I'm multiplying it by 100 and then dividing by 100. And I think, well, you just divided this part. Well, when two things are multiplied, if you divide either part, you divide the total. You know what I mean? If I have 2 times 3 and divide this by 100, it still divides the whole total by 100, right? So I divided this term by, both parts of that by 100, and I multiplied by 100. So I didn't change anything. I'm just changing the way it looks. So it'll have a 1 here and it'll match. So what does that give? What's 100 times 0.08? Well, that's 8. Y times 1 minus y over 100 dy dt. I just gave it a new look. Does that make sense? I multiplied by 100 and divided by 100. So I didn't change the value. I just changed the way it looks. Now, what's so great about that is I can tell what R is. I can tell what K is, right? It's Y instead of P, but that's all the same. Okay, and I can take the solution, which they have right there. So that's what I'm going to write. So here we go. So the solution is P of T equals KP0. Okay. KP0 over P0 plus K minus P0 e to the minus RT. All right, so that's our solution. So let's write that down. Let's do a little bit more work on that. So what do we have there? So K, we already know K is 100, right? K is 100. So this is 100. So K is 100. And we know R is 8. It says right here, R is 8. So R right there is 8. And P0, I think they're giving to, yeah, Y0 is 10. So that's P0, same thing. Y0, P0 is 10. So this is 10, this is 10, this is 10. So we have 100 times 10 over 10 plus 100 minus 10. Oops, can I do that a little scribbly? Times e to the minus 8t. So there we go. Let's just clean that up a little bit. That's coming out real nice. It's 100 times 10. That's 1,000 on the top. 10 plus 90 e to the minus 8t. There we go. So there's the solution. And that's basically it. You can type that in, it'll take it. They divided top and bottom by 10. Same thing, but they'll take it this way. And that's it. Just type that in. There's our solution. So the whole trick is we just had to recognize this is logistic. Whenever you have the rate of change of y is something times y times a number minus y, that's logistic. But then you got to do plastic surgery. You got to make it look like this. I mean, you got to put a 1 there. So divide by 100 and multiply by 100. So you're not changing anything. And then you get it in that new form, and you can identify R and K, and you put them in, and they told you P0 or Y0 is 10. Plug everything in. There's a solution using the notes. And there we go.